everybody, and welcome to Four Weebs, That Anime Podcast. My name is Veda, and I will be your host for this week. As you may or may not know, every 7th episode we have, a special episode, and this week it was my turn to pick, and I will announce the title now. I have decided that we are going to watch Kimi no Nawa, or Your Name, the movie that has just come out. And we will introduce everybody first, and there's a special surprise introduction, so... Leah, do you want to go first?
My name's Leah, and I just really enjoyed Becca's purring noises, and I want her to do it again. Can you just introduce yourself through purring?
No, I'm not. I'm not fluent in cat. I can just speak a couple words.
Sounds like me in Japanese.
Yeah, right?
Becca. I'm Becca, and this DVD is for screening purposes only. No
distribution is strictly prohibited.
That's pretty
meta.
Of the
screener in whole or in parts, it is strictly prohibited. I missed a bit in the middle, but close enough. You get the idea.
Best part of the movie.
Yes.
Don't watch streams, kids.
With the Chinese subtitles as well as the English. Anyone else get that? Yeah.
That's a whole own little topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my name's Liam, and I'm officially done finals now. I can finally watch anime again. I celebrated by going to a Japanese place and eating the ramen and
Which one?
The sushi.
Nice.
That one in Kensington called Ikimen.
So good.
It was pretty comparable to some of the other stuff I had.
Not for veggie ramen. Their tomato mushroom ramen is just the best thing of
that
my
one
life.
Did look pretty appealing, but I went for just the standard miso ramen, and it was it was on the same level as that ramen we had at Goro and Gun.
Goro and Gun's actually one of the better places in Calgary that I've had for ramen.
It's its own Pokestop, did you know?
Right.
Ooh, fancy.
You heard it here first, weebs.
Unless you live in Calgary, you probably know.
And now for our salty surprise.
Waits for
surprise.
Speak.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. No, you didn't. No.
Hey, my name is Mackenzie, and I only have one tone of voice, and that's sarcasm.
Oh my god.
So
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Mackenzie.
Well, I'm member. What? I watch so much anime, but only if there's titties. Yeah, I'm number 10 in Dancing Stars on Muse, and my title is the Meme Queen, so that kind of makes everything self-explanatory. I've worked 24 hours in the past 36 hours, and I'm also really dead, so
wow.
Both inside and out.
This is how bad she's wanted to be a guest. We're happy to finally have you, Mackenzie.
Yes.
It's just really convenient that Liam lives a couple blocks away, or else I would have been like, fuck you guys, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, me and Mackenzie are in the same room.
You're bros.
Fancy
you
that.
can touch one another.
And we would never know.
We were, she's touching me right now. It's hard to speak. I won't tell you where.
Just kidding, Clara.
Long-time listeners might have recognized the name Mackenzie before from our Love Live episode, or we probably mentioned her a couple times in other episodes. We know you've wanted to on the podcast for a while, so we're happy to finally have you on here. We're sorry it couldn't be an ecchi or a harem anime.
A harem.
But
I know, I thought about that.
It'll be a good time either way. Mackenzie is the one who convinced me to give Keijo, the chance it deserved. So I'm hoping now that I'm done exams, I can finally catch up on Keijo. That takes priority over Yuri on Ice. Sorry.
Y'all ever
you don't even know what you're talking about,
nipple?
Oh my
because
god.
You can in Keijo.
Also, maybe one day when we just all need a break, Mackenzie could just host her own harem episode, because she could probably talk about it for days.
That'd be great.
There's a lot in my repertoire, and it's not even just harem ecchi anime. My PS Vita system is literally only M-rated JRPG games, and if they're not M-rated for sexual themes, it's not worth my time or money. I spent $120 on a collector's edition for Criminal Girls 2 invite only. And yeah, that was the best purchase I ever made in my life.
No regrets. RAG.
Mackenzie's
I appreciate
like
that, Mackenzie.
Before we get into Kimi no Nawa, the world needs to know who's your husbando and who's your waifu in anime terms.
It's a really hard question.
It's a hard choice.
If you want me to list all of them, we might be here for a few hours. So I don't know.
Some of the first that come to mind.
Top ones.
Man. Like, no, there's so many. I'm really into Haikyuu, and my favorite character is Suki. He is my son, so it's not really a husbando, but he kind of counts. All you need to know is if a character is blonde, wears glasses, has blue eyes, or is rich, and a combination of that, they're probably my favorite. So
that sounds like half of Hitler's description of this person.
Oh dear God!
I wasn't gonna go there.
Well, but
for waifus, let's see. There's Nozomi Tojo from Love Live, and in Love Live Sunshine, it's Daya Kurosawa. She's everything. What other things? I guess from To Love Ru, since I love that harem whole being. I really like the main character, like the protagonist, the female lead. She's really great. She's better later on, but she grew on me. There's too many animes.
Okay, we know it's hard to pick one.
We get it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're put on the spot.
Yeah, like our Valentine's Day episode, where we're all just like,
don't
our first episode, we're like, my favorite anime is Full Metal Alchemist and Studio Ghibli. No kidding.
Yeah.
What about Cory in the House?
Oh no!
I forgot about that one.
That was not a good
can
throwback.
Take the title
this time.
of cinematic masterpiece than Cory in the House.
Well, Veda, should we talk about what the episode's for and stuff?
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'll jump in. I have a whole spiel here. Okay, so Kimi no Nawa was released on August 26, 2016, and we're kind of late on the bandwagon here to to get on this train, but
especially with
now,
podcast time travel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is gonna come out super late, but whatever. Okay, let's just do this. The movie is like an hour and 46 minutes long, and the ratings on Mal is currently sitting at a 9.37, which is like one of the highest ratings I've ever seen.
Higher than Brotherhood.
It is.
Yeah.
IMDb actually has a rating for it of 8.8. And then Rotten Tomatoes says it's 97% fresh, like critics score. So I was like, well, that's pretty good. It has pretty good ratings all across the board. It was written and directed by Makoto Shinkai, who also worked on movies like 5 centimeters per second, Children Who Chase Lost Voices, Garden of Words, and the OVA She and Her Cat. He also wrote the screenplay as well as the novel the movie is based on, and was in charge of cinematography and editing for the film. This guy did everything
what a boss.
on this movie.
That's
I know, and I was like,
that's impressive. I haven't seen
That
any
is
of those movies you
commitment.
mentioned though.
Oh,
I've
really?
seen Garden of Words.
I've seen Garden of Words and 5 centimeters per second, and they're both beautiful.
They're good.
They're so
Yeah,
pretty.
they're both really, really good.
Yeah.
This seems to be his first full length one though. 5 centimeters per second and Garden of Words are both only I think
40 minutes.
50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. So good for him. I mean, holy shit.
That's amazing.
It's been breaking box office records in Asia. It was number 1 at the Japanese box office for 9 straight weeks.
Oh, geez.
And then it was dethroned by a Death Note movie for 2 weeks, but then it went right back to the top.
Of course.
Yeah.
Those are still happening.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know they were happening either, and I saw that and I was like, what the hell?
So
and it's
many
a
names
live
right.
action movie.
One
I
will
don't know,
definitely
but,
die.
Never.
It won't.
Well, there's a live action North America one being made, so not anytime
That's
soon.
been being made since 2009 or something.
Yeah, but there's actual photos from the set of that though. Willem Dafoe is playing the Shinigami.
Oh
I think
god.
that's
Are you kidding?
I think that's kind of
That
fitting,
actually-
but
That would
yeah.
work very well. He has the smile for it.
Wait.
He's creepy. Yeah.
Is Snoop Dogg in it? I think they should cast him in that movie. I would watch it 100%.
Who would they cast Snoop Dogg as?
I don't know. I haven't watched
Everyone?
It's too mainstream.
Snoop Dogg would be Light Yagami.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I would watch that.
No,
you kidding?
Snoop Dogg is L. He just sparks a blunt.
No,
sits
there's
down
gotta be
and
somebody
eats.
else's L. Anyway, okay.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is
Oh!
L.
Yes.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's like funny
Someone
but
get
makes
on
sense
that.
at the same time.
Oh, that'd be great. Can we
So
cast
it,
this
like-
movie later?
Yes.
Yes, for sure. The movie ended up spending like 12 weeks at the top of the box office in Japan. And like it's currently like the current worldwide gross is about $288 million US.
Holy shit.
And yeah, I know. It's almost the highest grossing anime film of all time. The
That's
only thing above it right now is Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Spirited Away is the only Miyazaki movie that won an Oscar, right?
I thought
I
he had won
think
others.
so.
Did he? Oh no, I think
But not
The Wind Rises
Mononoke?
won.
Yeah.
One, two.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna look that up. Keep talking.
Yeah, the Oscars are
But yeah.
overrated anyway.
I know, but it's just anime
this-
terms to know that it's made it in North America,
North America,
basically.
yeah.
It's gotten like an American recognition. I have heard Oscar like rumors for this movie, like it might get considered
That
for the
doesn't
Oscar.
surprise me
Who
at
knows?
Yeah,
all.
definitely like the
Nope.
usual Hollywood review stuff I watch on YouTube occasionally. Like a few of them have talked about Kimi no Wa. That's when I was like,
Sorry, puppies.
that's when I was like,
That's
wow,
okay.
the regular people are talking about the anime. Weird.
Right?
Mhm.
I find it exciting. But I guess it's like a wider theater release next year in the States. I don't know about
That
Canada,
makes
but
sense.
I heard
for
that
sure.
like almost 81 countries or something like that have it airing. Like,
Usually
Yeah, a
for
ton.
North American releases, if the States get it, it's just like the Love Live movie. I'm from a Love Live group.
I
But
didn't
like
know there was a Love Live movie.
there's a Love Live movie, but they'll
Yeah,
only
there
air it if
is.
Calgary gets it. It'll only air at Chinook unless it's huge, in which case
yeah,
They
I
might-
know we might get it.
The Globe
but-
might also pick them up because they picked up Boy and the Beast and no one else
But yeah,
did.
we'll
That's
probably
true.
get
That
it
was
a good
random,
like
but
3
awesome.
months
We'll find
after the
out.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there was a similar thing with the new Ghost in the Shell movie that came out last year.
Unless it gets picked up by like one of the festivals around the city, because we do have a couple pretty big film festivals. It might have gathered enough.
This is
attention.
true.
Yeah.
Nope.
I guess we'll find out shortly.
1 second, guys. I hear a
We
knock
should.
at the door, which means I have to
Is it
mute
Santa?
myself.
Santa?
No, it's probably
Yeah.
someone who lives in my house. I don't know how to
Oh.
mute this thing.
There should
There's
be
a
X,
mute
Mike.
button.
Just
The-
we don't
There
need
we
you
go.
anymore. Just leave. We'll finish the episode without you.
My
Goodbye,
city
Leah.
now.
Ooh, that's
Anyway.
spooky. I'll I guess because Leah's gone, I'll just read the description for the movie just really quickly. So like, I'm just gonna tell the viewers, like, or the listeners right now, if you haven't seen the movie, you should probably go and watch it before, like, listening to this anyway. I mean, if you don't care
Yep.
about spoilers, fine, but we're probably gonna get into spoilers later on, just saying.
We love our
So-
spoilers.
We
I
do.
hope everyone's ready
hard
for
not
my real
to.
spicy takes.
Oh.
Spit takes?
Grab some milk or some alcohol because things are gonna get spicy.
Curious.
Spice.
Wonderful.
Anyway.
What's this movie about, Veda?
Mitsuha Miyamizu, a high school girl, yearns to live the life of a boy in the bustling city of Tokyo, a dream that stands in stark contrast to her present life in the countryside. Meanwhile, in the city, Taki Tachibana lives a busy life as a high student while juggling his part-time job and hopes for a future in architecture. One day, Mitsuha awakens in a room that is not her own and is suddenly finds herself living dream life in Tokyo. Sorry, my computer started doing weird stuff. But in Taki's body. Elsewhere, Taki finds himself living Mitsuha's life in the humble countryside. In pursuit of an answer to this strange phenomenon, they begin to search for one another. Kimi no Nawa revolves around Mitsuha and Taki's actions, which begin to have a dramatic impact on each other's lives, weaving them into a fabric held together by fate and circumstance. That's just the
I'm quietly
description?
trying to return. Hello.
To summarize,
Slips in the door.
it's about the heteros TM.
Ow.
Oh boy.
So I figured we could do
Then
like
the
the
episode
regular.
got serious.
I have a
We
lot
get
to say
to-
about this.
we could do like the regular thing and go through like initial impressions, and then we can just kind of go into random discussion from there.
We'll touch on what we usually do, Mackenzie. Touch on our initial impressions, so not as much on the plot, just like on the.
It's just sort of like what you expected going
quality
in.
and just like general feelings around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first, Veda, since it's your pick?
For sure. Well, I went into the movie not really with like any expectations. I mean, I'd heard so much buzz about like and hype about it, but I hadn't actually seen any content for the movie aside from posters and stuff, so I didn't read the description before, so I was like completely blank going into it. And just looking at the art and stuff, I just kind of expected it to be like a cute teen rom-com with like a little bit of like a supernatural element from the body switching thing, with like really nice animation and like, you know, kind of like a slow build romance thing that was just like really cute. And I don't know. That was what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I guess like my initial impression was like, yeah, the animation's really gorgeous. Just right away I was like, oh, this is pretty.
I want to talk about
like
that.
I didn't know it was the guy who did like 5 centimeters per second and Garden of Words like before I watched it, and as soon as it came on the screen I was like, oh
yeah,
it's gotta be
like
this guy. Like,
Garden of Words looks hyper realistic. Like when you're watching that shit,
but you can just tell. But yeah,
I know. I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm not saying it doesn't look the same. I'm saying like it's so good. But yeah, that was like kind of my initial idea of what this was going to be. It was cute at the beginning.
Yeah, I kind of had the same initial, or like before I watched it, I hadn't done anything other than like read the My Anime List description, so I was expecting something pretty cheesy, and from like the posters, I was expecting some good quality animation, which I got, so I was pretty happy about that. Basically, when I was watching it, it just got me really excited for my trip to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Just to like see Japanese landscapes and eat Japanese food.
By the way, I want to see like a million pictures.
I would expect you go a photographer.
Mackenzie will help me out on that. She helped me buy my new camera back on Black Friday, so thanks for that, Mackenzie. And yeah, I will definitely deliver on the picture front.
Yes.
So she's getting a peace sign right now. She looks hella cool. Yeah. Initial impressions were good. Plot and story wise, I was pretty okay with it. I wasn't blown away by anything, but I was like, I'd say like above average. I was like felt good at the end, but like
we'll get into
my
it
favorite
later.
parts were kind of in the middle. I'll save
we'll
the rest for later.
Yeah. Leah?
I was just gonna say, speaking of like scenery and stuff like that in the movie, that part with the stairs, that's actually a real staircase in Japan.
Yeah,
like it's actually based off of.
They do that a lot in movies like this, where they'll take like real places. I love that. It looks so cool.
But my initial impressions, I went in like completely blind. Like I didn't even read description. I wanted to know like nothing about it, like at all.
Yeah.
I obviously thought the animation was really amazing when I first started. The beginning, I was. We'll have to get into it more. But I kind of like how you're almost like confused in the first 10 minutes because like in an intriguing way. You're like, what's happening? But but in a funny way. And I liked how it was. And it's just a brief thing. I kind of like how it was directed almost. Like I like when a lot of anime movies, it's like the directors directed it like it was a live action.
Yeah,
I want to get into it. There were some shots that just fucking like. Anyway.
Yeah, and kind of like the one montage and stuff. But we'll get into it. Yeah. That's kind of what I liked. I liked direction it took, and the animation was pretty great. I'm not necessarily sure, like, I think it's as good as the hype, but it kind of sucks when you go in to watch a movie and it is so hyped up.
And
I have an idea about that, though. Maybe a little bit.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Well, what are your initial thoughts, Becca?
I really enjoyed it. I had read a little bit about it prior to watching, and it was kind of on my list of things to keep an eye out for, because it has done so well, and I tend to be interested in things that, like, everybody is saying is great, because it's like, well, why is it? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice, even movie. There's definitely some, like, emotional moments that I was like, don't cry, it's just a movie, man. But I enjoyed it. I can't really speak to the animation because the stream I found of it was not great, but I can see.
I think we all watched the
I think we all pretty
one.
much watched the same one, but I mean, you could get the idea.
Yeah, like it's kind of like when you watch a lot of animes that look really good and they're shitty, you just kind of have you know how it would look better when it's clear and crisp and nice. I imagine this movie Blu-ray. Is very pretty, but I can't speak to it personally because the stream I watched was so shitty. But yes, that's my initial impressions.
Okay,
Mackenzie.
Let's hear from the devil's advocate.
So yeah, I'm Satan. Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. Flickering lights on and off.
Loud piano music. Dun, dun, dun.
So the only thing that apparently fills the void in my soul is ecchi harem. So, I mean, well, my initial
I said that before this episode. I was like, I'm not sure how thrilled Mackenzie's gonna be with the subject matter that we're having her in on.
Okay, you know what? No, sit back, kids. I've got a lot to say. I watched this in lieu of my semi-annual mental and emotional breakdown, so I was crying through the entire thing. It was great.
No.
Sometimes because it was like, oh, this is very emotional, and sometimes because I was like, man, I want to die. But that's a whole other topic.
Oh boy.
But no, initial thoughts, it was very, very pretty. It was kind of started out, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of what I expected. Just like, the heteros TM. And then the comedy points where, the dude in the girl's body, I'm like, #me. Groping them titties, and later on when he's like crying and groping the boobs, I'm like, that's me. That's for me.
That's definitely like the strongest comedic moment, I thought, when he's like just crying, groping boobs,
sobbing. He's like,
because he's in the girl's body, just groping her boobs, like groping his own boob thing, and the sister's like, hey, are you? And he's just like bawling, and he's
really
like, crying. She's like, you've lost it. I'm outie. That was like, I was like, no, that's me. So I relate to him on a spiritual level. He's me, except he works too hard. But no, it was kind of like what I expected. Wasn't super invested in it in the beginning, and then in the middle I got really invested, and then the ending ruined it for me. I was like, I'm disappointed. You could have done better. Table flip, and then I went to bed really angry and cried. I was like, this is the worst. I hate it. No, it was actually pretty good overall, but I don't think it was worth all the hype. But that's mostly just my own personal taste in the ending. I think they could have done a lot better for the cinematography in that particular endingness.
Should we talk more about the ending, or should we save that?
We'll save the ending.
We'll save it for later.
Yeah.
But there's no rules. We're doing the ending now. No, just kidding.
Well, host Veda, what would you like to discuss first? Where should we start?
Oh God. Do we want to talk about the animation, like, a little bit, or does everyone?
Sure. Let's start with that.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll just say that, like, to me, the backgrounds were where it was really, really good.
Yeah.
The character designs were good, but the backgrounds were so good. I could have just stared at them all day.
I feel like it was generally just supposed to be a very pretty movie. Like,
yes.
I thought the characters, they're all consistent in their style, but definitely the backgrounds, like you said, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
They worked really hard to make it pretty.
One thing I will say is actually the character designs are actually quite nice, because I've watched a lot of anime where they have the same faces and the same head shapes.
Yeah.
And it was nice that her, like, the female lead, her friends looked very, very different. Like, they had different body types, different face types, and bone structures. Yeah. So that was really well thought out. And the background is actually really quite nice. Animation-wise, I actually really like the way they animated the hair and how they tied it and how it was really
the movement on the character was so fluid sometimes, where they would just like they would be like moving and you're just like, oh, it looks like a person.
Where she tied her hair the first time, I was like,
gonna
fuck
mention
yes.
That. The
I
hair,
really like that.
The hair tying, like, I mean, the backgrounds win over the character stuff for me, but the character stuff, specifically like the braid weaving and like the hair ribbon thing, was real nice. And I like the specific animation moment that stood out for me. Well, there's two. It's like at the beginning when there's like the kind of flying through the clouds, and then like the meteor goes through the clouds.
Yeah,
it's like ambiguous at the beginning because you don't know what it is.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty sweet. And then the part when they're like talking to each other for the first time in Twilight, like that was cool. The color and the animation there was just,
and the clouds.
It was very spicy there.
Speaking of that Twilight moment, how far in are we going for spoilers right now? Because I have a lot to say.
We're going balls deep.
don't listen to this if you haven't watched the movie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like, about that whole Twilight thing, and he was all like, let's write our names on each other so we don't forget. And then she couldn't write her name on his hand, and I was like, oh that's unfortunate. And then she opens her hand, and it's not even his name, and I was like, you sons of bitches, you reeled us in.
That was
surprising.
Assholes.
Yeah, maybe we can get to that a bit
in a minute.
After,
that's the only part that actually made me cry about this entire thing.
That did make me
like cry out of anger
swoon a little bit.
Or
like,
cry in a good way or a bad way?
Yeah, cry in good or bad way.
Oh, it was good. I was like, oh, you assholes making me feel these emotions. I'm supposed to be a dead husk. How dare you?
I was gonna say, like, that was one of my favorite parts, and I was like, oh no, everyone hates it.
No, I really liked it. It was probably really, like, you know, once they got into, like, the whole, like, time stuff, I'm not gonna go into that, because that was my favorite part, and that'll just...
I think that was definitely the strongest part of the
That's what I was actually about to say. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it right now, but I found that this movie had a subtle way of actually surprising you. Like, there's things you didn't see coming, you know? And, like, the whole time, like, from the very beginning, they kind of start off where, like, you're not supposed to understand everything that's happening. Because that first scene where the girl, well, quote-unquote girl, main character, wakes up and she's grabbing her boobs and everything, and is like, what's going on, basically. But at that point, you don't know that it's talking in there. And you don't really get it until almost like a half hour into the movie, when you get into him waking up and the girl's like, holy shit, I have a penis, like, what's happening?
There's something down there.
Also, the boob grabbing to dick grabbing was way too disproportionate.
That's a fair point.
I'm sorry, but I would literally, the first thing I'd do, I'd be like, okay, where's something I can write my name and piss in? For real though. I need to see how good this aim is.
If you're like a, I mean, I can only say this from what I very briefly know of Japanese culture, but if you're a little more modest about things, right? Like, and they think it's a dream, right? So they're not really
worried about
they're
being
kind of
modest.
just going with it, right? And then all of a sudden, like, I kind of like how they kind of like didn't really address a whole lot of it until she's like, oh shit, I have to pee.
That's funny.
I don't know.
One thing, I totally forgot my point. Never mind. No, wait, the product of no, never mind, I lost my point.
I had a thought on the time travel aspect of the movie. It reminds me a lot of how they handle time travel in Donnie Darko. And kind of, like, that, the entire movie, I was like, it just kind of kept reminding me of Donnie Darko, where, like, you don't know what's going on, and then as it slowly all comes together and gets explained, the pieces start to fit together, except this one was, like, a positive movie, whereas Donnie Darko was all about, like, people dying and shit. But it really kind of gave me that vibe with...
Well, people did die in this movie as well, so
this is true.
You know.
But it's about, like, killing less people.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I remembered my original point. One thing, because we were talking about how you didn't know about things until, like, way later. I think one of the best places that was illustrated was when the girl in Taki's body, Mitsuha, and she organized this date, and then they got switched back, and she's like, hey, the date'll be over when the comet's at its peak, right? And he's like, what is she talking about? And then you figure things out, and you're just like, those sneaky devils.
Yeah.
That was my favorite point for, like, you know, how they, like, led you on and that stuff and gave you those subtle clues. That part in particular was definitely my favorite.
I really like how they give you that slow reveal to everything, where it's like the whole first half is basically the setup, and it's done really well, and then you figure everything out at the end, and you're just like, what the fuck?
I didn't figure it out at that date moment.
Me either. Like, I kind of started, I don't remember what moment it was I kind of figured it out, but I remember it was like a slow figure out. We were kind of like,
it took me way too long to figure it out.
You're just like, no!
I was worried I was gonna get stuck into a Wikipedia hole after, but it didn't. They tied it up nicely.
They tied it up really nice, which is great.
Can I say, before we get towards more of the end, I actually really enjoyed that, like, montage of them, like, how they're adapting to, like, switching.
Can we talk about those couple montages?
I was really confused by those.
Yeah, really? The very first one was confusing because it just happens. It's like an opening.
Yes, it felt like an ending to me. I was like, is the anime over?
The music it did throw me off a little bit. But I mean, it's just because we're so used to, in anime,
Intros
when you hear music like that, it's an intro or an outro.
Yeah.
So it did seem a little, like, weird to me.
I think it also has to do with, like, the music in the rest of the movie isn't pop songs. It's like dramatic piano and violins and stuff.
I would agree that they're slightly disjointed, but, like, once you accept, like, oh, okay, this is happening, it was really fun.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do something similar in Upside Down, Girl and Boy?
Hatama?
Hatama.
Yeah, didn't that have, like, a weird...
I think it might have. In the middle somewhere, I think it did it once.
So, like, once I realized that was what was happening, I was like, oh, never mind, this just happens. But the very first part felt like an opening, and I was like, well, this is interesting.
Well, and I'm like, we already had one.
Right. I felt the same way about those. They were a little confusing at first.
But I was gonna say, I like that they narrated a bit of what was happening, though, too.
Yeah, exactly.
That was interesting.
That's the way to do it, too, right? Or else you could spend half the movie just describing how they adapted to the situation, which would have been, like, a waste of time, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and, like, at first, when they have, like, the first, like, actual opening, like, not the montage of them getting used to each other, like, the actual opening, I was kind of like, why is there, like, a full-on anime opening in a movie? Like, you don't need this, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, at the end of the movie, I'm like, it makes more sense because it actually preludes to a lot of shit, and you're like, oh, I kind of get it now. So, yeah.
I didn't mind it. It was just...
I didn't mind it, but I wasn't...
No, it wasn't bad.
Off. I was like, oh.
I think,
same.
Yeah.
So, here's my thing, because I think a montage would have been really, really well placed in the end, because here's what I think would have been amazing for the ending, because I hate how they left it. That's my least favorite thing.
For sure.
Like, oh, I felt like we've met before, and I'm like, I'm gonna flip a table, I'm gonna go and hurt someone.
Really?
That made me so mad.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't like it very much. I think it would have been really cool, when they're passing on the trains, and then they make that eye contact, and you get, like, this flashback of everything they went through together, and they're like, oh crap, and then they, like, go and they do their meeting, and then it's, they're standing there, and before they even say anything, that's where it would have ended. I think that would have been a lot nicer.
I think
that could have been
I completely disagree.
That's fair.
I was actually, like, worried that's what they were gonna do, because I feel like that almost takes away from the purpose of the movie, right?
I find it keeps you from having that, like, I really liked how they did it, but I can see how doing it differently would have changed the feel. I really like them having that closure of them actually being like, we've met before, right? If it had just left on them turning and looking at one another with that left side.
I was so worried about that. No. When their faces were passing on the train, I was like, if they freaking end it here, I'm literally going to kill someone.
No, I get that. I think my biggest thing is, like, where it's like, no, I have a feeling we've met before, but they don't have any memory of it, which I get as a point in the film. But it would have been nice if, like, because they trail off with your name is, and I'm like, okay, but isn't the point to, like, in the beginning they really, like, started hinting, like, oh, don't you remember me? My name, it's Mitsuha, right?
Yeah.
Kept reiterating throughout the film, and at the end, they still don't remember Jack all. And I'm like, I swear to God, like,
but not necessarily, right? They just don't show you that because, like, I don't know. I think I liked it because that's the end. It, like, ties into the title, right? Like, what's your name? And I get the feeling that as soon as they say their names, maybe it would all come back. Or, to be honest, in a way, it's probably better that it doesn't come back. But obviously, like, their souls still have that connection, right?
I think that's an interesting idea of, like, is it better for them if they know what they've been through, or is it better for them just to feel that they're connected in a way?
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of like
question.
torn, kind of like in between Mackenzie's and Leah's opinion. I feel like I was kind of underwhelmed by the ending, but I'm not like, I don't know whether it would have been better going full cheese or like no cheese like they did, because like the movie it's like a pretty cheesy love story.
So
that's
true.
Mackenzie does have a good argument, but I'm just
and part of me does agree with Mackenzie too. Like, my, like, inner squealing female is like, recognize each other on the train and run to each other and embrace, but then I'm just like the, like, overarching theme, like, I kind of get.
I think more than anything, totally, it's more just ends. My personal taste. Like, I think they really started really slow, which I get, and that's not a problem. And then by the time it was, like, kind of near the middle, they had really, like, raised that bar and got me invested. And I just felt that they just decided, we're just gonna drop this bar at the end, and I just felt really disappointed. Like, I wasn't very satisfied, and I think a lot of it is just mostly my own personal taste in these sorts of things.
That's fair.
Because like it was overall, it was actually quite good, and I did enjoy it despite my emotional tears like periodically. But most of them were good. But no, there's something about the ending I'm just not overly like happy about. I think there's a lot of like loose ends that could have been tied together a little bit nicer and sort of stuff like that. And
to me, it wasn't even so much the loose ends, but I don't know if anyone else found this. I did find the ending dragged a bit. I'm like, okay, we keep going here. Obviously, she's gonna show up. Like, what?
I found it kind of annoying that they kept walking past each other and then they would like look at each other, and I was like, okay, we get it. You kind of have this connection thing. I was like, can we please just like end at some point? Like they kept doing it, and I was like, stop cock teasing.
At this point, like let them meet, or like they never meet again. Like just give me one.
Pick one.
We're almost at the end. Come on, I've got sleep to catch up on.
I'm like, they might not, and I was like, stop it.
Is it kind of like that whole idea though of like building it up again? It has its own little climax where where they're running through the streets and they finally meet each other again.
Yeah, but I feel like
it makes that pay off better.
Slow.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was just like, to me, I just was so lost in like the flow of the movie, I suppose, that it felt like it had to happen that way. Where like,
I see what you mean.
Is teased a bit. I mean, they as characters by themselves, they're just carrying on with their general lives, right? But as viewers, we're teased a little bit, and then we get that payoff, and the thing is,
I completely agree, and that's what I wanted them to go for, and that's what they did. But there was just something about it, and I can't even pinpoint, where it was just a teeny bit too drawn out.
I didn't think it dragged on too much, but I was saying to Mackenzie earlier, I think like the best part of the movie is the middle, like when he goes to the shrine place, drinks the pervert sake, and then but the part specifically when they're like meeting at twilight, like that's the best part.
That was
and then my favorite
moment. Agree. Me too.
My favorite moment is when she's about to write on his hand, and then it just like cuts and the pen falls to the ground.
I know.
I think that's like the strongest part of the movie.
I definitely agree.
That was a good part.
I know it's generally good for the climax to be like not at the very end of the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking, I'm seeing that as like as in the storytelling of just telling the ending.
Yeah,
has that mini climax again, right?
I'm kind of on Becca's side. I don't think it dragged on too much.
To be honest, I think I might have just been really tired. Maybe that's why it seemed like it was getting a little long. Because I remember sitting there going like, okay, this is only supposed to be an hour and 45 minutes. Like, I feel like it's going longer. Like, I think it was just the state of mind I was in. Because it's like I said, like,
the same.
I can't even pinpoint why I felt that way. Because I'm trying to think of what you would have taken out, and I can't even.
All day, and then I was like, oh, I have to watch this. So I was very tired.
I think part of the reason why it feels like it drags is because the first half of the movie is spent being like a slice of life where we're just getting used to how these characters live, and then the second half of the movie is so action packed with trying to avoid the death of this entire village.
Yeah, that's true.
That there's a really big tonal change after they kind of get used to living each other's lives, and then they stop connecting immediately.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it feels like it drags a bit, because I definitely, like, when I said it was a consistently paced movie, it still did feel like it took an hour and 45 minutes to watch it. Like,
yeah, it did.
It didn't feel quick.
One thing I'll give the ending is seeing the little sister Yotsuha in high school made my entire day. That was the best.
That was cute.
That was satisfying.
She's so adorable.
Tied in.
He's my waifu now.
The brother and sister. Hold on, did anyone else panic with the brother and sister when Taki's sitting in a cafe and he overhears them and they're talking about the wedding, and it took me for a second to realize that they were like bridal dress shopping for the sister, because at first I was like, is she marrying the brother? No!
I totally missed that they were brothers.
I didn't even think about that.
Brother and sister. I thought they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh my god.
No,
I thought so too.
Me too. I thought they weren't related. Oops.
No, because at the beginning they're like, oh, she hangs out with the contractors' kids or whatever.
They said no, because they mentioned they did say something like that, but it was like, oh, it's the president's daughter and hang out with his contractor. not so much.
No, contractors' kids.
Yeah.
Maybe mine was subbed differently. I don't know.
But I took it as like they were different contractors' kids. I totally thought that
maybe
they were a couple.
We should look it up. Maybe I never thought they were a couple. I still thought they were brother and sister. But it would also make sense if they were a couple and they're the ones getting married and too. Like, I don't know. Let's see.
I don't know either. Oh my gosh! Because now I'm curious.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
This.
So.
Okay.
But anyway, I thought it was a nice tie-in, regardless, because it explained like why they're in Tokyo, and it makes sense that the girl got a job in Tokyo because she's like probably like 27 at that point or something like that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just like that it gave you a good entry into like he's going to find her. Those two are sitting there, so it's like well, he's obviously going to find her. She didn't actually die. This is great, and that just like raised my excitement to see them.
It's like a mini clue right before you get the reveal.
Yes, and I liked that build up. But
yeah,
I think my favorite character was Taki though, because I spiritually relate to him because he works really hard and he really loves titties and he's very emotional. And I'm like, hashtag me.
Where he's like, I shouldn't, and then like grabs him anyway.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know what? I really shouldn't do this, but I'm. Well, too late now. And I'm like, well, you're the most relatable character. This is unfortunate for me.
I don't know. I totally read that as they were brother and sister.
I knew it.
I guess I was wrong.
I totally read it as they were like a threesome, and the two were kind of like leaning towards being a couple, while Mitsuha
the
was
entire
separate.
time I was like,
see, I felt like he had a crush on Mitsuha.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But I think he realized that she had a crush on someone else.
Yeah,
kind of like how the girl that Taki was going out eventually just became his friend, and like she said straight out, she was like, "It's obvious that you've fallen in love with somebody else, and you stopped being interested in me."
Yeah,
I kind of took it as that kind of relationship.
I'm sure I would have too if I didn't completely misread the comment at the beginning of the movie. So
that puts an entire different spin on their character.
No kidding.
Yeah, no, because the one thing it didn't make sense when you're like, no, they're related because only the son is dragged into the contracting stuff, and you never see the pigtail friend around their family house at all.
You know.
That's a wonderful twist on it. It's all good.
It's all good.
That's funny, though.
Well, it makes total sense, right? If you had thought that at the beginning of the movie, it would still make sense.
Because, like, and I think that's part of what I really like about the emotional aspect, like the romance aspect. It's not about the sexual content. It's entirely about the connecting on the personality level. Even the friends, when they're together. Well, like, there's the boob grabbing and stuff. I mean, but...
More
like,
sexual, please. Plus,
but no, but I think Becca, that was never actually like, oh, she's so attractive, I'm touching her boobs.
Yeah.
I'm a female right now, so I have boobs to grab.
But like all the relationships, there's more to them than just like the physical attraction. And I like that there's like the friendship there before there's the relationship, like the romantic.
There's like actual like development to the romance.
Yeah.
I have a really important question.
Yes, Mackenzie.
Wait, whose harem is this?
Liam's
is it
harem.
No. In the anime, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Also, everyone's in my harem, even Liam's harem. Anyways, but like, is it Mitsuha's harem?
We're never allowed to bring another guy on the show. Okay.
Is it like Mitsuha's harem, or is it like someone else's harem?
This
is a very important question.
I don't know.
There's
not enough. Like,
there's always
one
a harem
person,
to be had.
Like,
I
there's
think
not enough of one gender to be a harem.
I think if it really needs to be somebody's harem, it's Taki's harem.
I agree.
No, because everyone's kind of centered around Mitsuha, though, don't you think?
But Taki spends the most time in Mitsuha's body.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's a good question, actually.
No, but it's important because, you know, Tessie likes her. You know, they could totally be in lesbians with her other childhood friend. And then you've got Taki. And, like, you know, who says harems all have to be one gender? Excuse you.
Okay,
that's
sorry.
So patriarchal. Oh, God.
But, like, judging off other animes.
Heteronormative asses.
God damn it.
As Liam would said to me in the past, did you just judge my gender?
No, I said, did you just assume my gender?
Assume my gender, or whatever.
But also,
judgingly
like,
assume.
I bet this is gonna come up a lot too, but people probably had canon Mitsuha as a trans dude because of her dream to be reborn as a cute Tokyo boy.
I was expecting there to be way more emphasis on that. She only mentions it once. She's like, "Oh, I wish I was a handsome boy in Tokyo."
No, but like, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, people head canon it. It's gonna happen.
To be honest, because I went into this movie not reading anything about it, I had no idea what it was about. As soon as she said that, and then they show her waking up as Taki, I actually kind of expected the movie to turn into her being stuck in that body, and that was her life.
Oh,
that's what I kind of expected
that's what I was
it to
expecting.
Be like.
And then all of a sudden, they like show that the first before you see Taki was actually Taki in her body, and you're just like, oh shit, wait, what?
Well, on one side, you could think it would be her next life, seeing as when she's in his body, she's technically dead.
I suppose that's true. Meta Mackenzie.
So clever.
Yeah.
I'm here for the spice, so the memes, the endings, the unending sarcasm, and the meta. Hello.
Can we go back to the hand thing? Because we kind of didn't quite say it, but yeah, like one of my favorite scenes too is when they're meeting at twilight and write each other's names, and it just stops and it goes blank. For one, I really like how they did it with just like bam, like she was gone.
It was
but like,
that was really impactful.
I was gonna ask Veda to elaborate more on those directing things you were mentioning earlier.
Which things?
Said like the way it was directed was very film-like or something.
Oh, that was
Leah.
Yeah, no, I really liked how they directed it. Like it was more like a live action film, and
I
don't know, it was just so good. And then when she like falls down the hill and opens her hand and it's not his name and it says I love you, and you're just like dying of cuteness, but at the same time you're like, no, because she doesn't know your name.
Heartbreaking.
What a fucking idiot.
My thoughts exactly. Like, more reason why Taki is me.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
I found that so heartbreaking when she realized that he just wrote "I love you," because it's like you don't even know who said that,
and you're like fangirling at the same time. Just like
it's like really cute, but you're kind of crushed.
Can we talk about the whole like braiding cord and like hair, that whole cord thing too?
I kind of lump that under the whole like Shinto religious traditions part of the movie, and I thought that part was pretty awesome.
I really liked that. I'm sitting here going like, I need to learn how to braid cord like the Japanese.
That was so cool looking. I was like, damn.
Yeah. An interesting thing I read about, like I kind of went and read why this movie was so big in Japan after. And part of it was because it relates to a lot of like, you know, Shinto, like religion, that sort of thing. But I guess the biggest one is because people really related the comet with the town to the giant earthquake that killed like 16,000 people.
That makes sense.
Years ago, and I guess it like really hit a lot of people like really hard and like to heart and stuff like that, but like in a positive way. So I read that's kind of one thing that kind of made it blow up a little.
A quick question on settings. Did this show give you like really big Shiki nostalgia, Leah?
Not really, but now that you mention it, I could definitely get that, like, the town-wise,
even
that
like,
sort of thing.
The very beginning where they're walking around and they're like, there's nothing to do here, and the guy's like, let's go to the cafe.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
And then they go to the fucking, like,
vending machine.
Just in the middle of a field, and there's a cow there. I was just like, this is exactly like Shiki, what's going on?
I'm so mad that I thought they were brother and sister, because I feel like that whole movie now, like, all of that would have been so cute, and I would have been like, be together. It's funny how perspective can change.
I have a small revision. The best character is actually the dog.
The dog. I
That's
remember.
fair.
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, the dog, because they go to the vending machine and there's just a dog at their feet, and it just periodically reappears. Hashtag best character.
The real mystery.
On a side note from anime, you guys need to go see Moana if you haven't yet, because the chicken in that movie is my spirit animal. That's all I have to say.
I feel like I need to see Kubo the 2 strings first, which I still haven't.
I might have that
I saw that
away to watch. It looks so good.
It's really pretty.
I've heard it is.
Pretty.
It's really good.
Pretty movie.
Yeah. But we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Other forms of animation.
That's not an anime.
I just love the chicken in that movie so much. Anyway.
What else is there to say?
I I was gonna say, like, I don't know if this is really related to the whole tying thing, but she had that, like, red hair tie, and, like, as soon as I saw the red hair tie, I always think of, like, the Japanese have, like, this big obsession with the red string of fate, and that whole thing.
The red string of
I kind of wonder if that was
exactly
like,
what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they were going for, because then later, when they were talking to the old lady, she was talking about musubi, and like the whole connecting of everything together, you know, that musubi brings people together and blah blah blah, and they were going on about it, and I was just like, aha,
the grandma knew it was happening all the time.
Yeah.
That
grandma.
was in on it.
Yeah, because she mentions at one point that she'd had the same dreams, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that had kind of been happening to the, like,
to her
firstborn daughters kind of for generations, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just really liked the flow between the two characters, like the main characters. And did anyone else laugh when, like, so they meet at Twilight and, like, it's all serious, and then at first she's like, "You groped me."
Yeah, that was
and he drank the sake that like she chewed out or something.
Out of her
sake.
Yeah.
That was
funny.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It goes from, like, he's
good,
like emotional, like, it's half of Mitsuha to you're freaking gross. The heck is wrong with you, boy?
I think the movie had like a good balance between like the really dramatic moments, and then it had like little light bits of humor in it as well, which was, it just worked really well for it.
Well, like even the scene we keep talking about where he wakes up and he's like crying because he's so relieved that he's back in her body, and then he immediately gropes her, like gropes himself again, and the little sister opens the door. Yeah, and she's like, "You must really love your boobs." But then when he sees her and he's like relief crying, he's like, "My sister," and she's just like, "Holy shit," and slaps the
while he's still holding her, like, the boobs.
So fun.
I mean,
The
she's
comedy was
like,
just really well timed.
Finally lost it.
Yeah, no, they didn't throw a lot of comedic moments in, but all of them were gold.
They were good, like, exactly.
Well placed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it wasn't like boring slice of life.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. Can I just say, like, a whole, like, twist in the middle where you find out that she's dead and everything, like, up to that point in the movie, like, I was enjoying the movie, but I wasn't really invested in anything that was happening.
Yeah.
Kind of,
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was just sort of, like, detached, like, being like, oh, yeah, it's a cute, like, you know, rom-com, whatever.
And then that
happened.
happened to switch bodies before, too, right? You're like,
yeah,
oh,
like,
okay.
Freaky Friday.
Well, and they kind of...
This is basically anime Freaky Friday.
It is.
You know, I was saying that it's almost like a way less shitty version of The Lake House, that like weird,
That's what I thought too.
that like Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock movie.
Okay, this brings on another important question. If this is Japanese Freaky Friday, who in this anime is Japanese Lindsay Lohan?
Obviously Taki. He's the sassier
Taki.
one.
Oh, nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the Lindsay Lohan's feeling up her own boobs, just like, yes, excellent.
You know, I'm just here to ask the really important questions, you guys.
It's good. It's good. It's good stuff. People need to know this.
Them. Yes.
Yeah.
The questions no one else would ask.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like after that point hit, and I just like, I kind of stopped. For some reason, I just didn't see it coming, like, at all. And then when they give you that whole scene where they're eating ramen and you like slowly start to realize, you're like, oh my god, I know what's happening. And I don't know, I was just like, this is so interesting now. And I was really invested at that point on. I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? They're gonna start answering all these questions through this whole time travel thing.
Well, and it doesn't really feel like there's a conflict in the first little bit where they're just like swapping bodies. Yeah. Like, even they're getting along with one another for the most part. They negotiate having rules for like what they can do in each other's bodies. Yeah. There isn't really a conflict, it's just an interesting circumstance. It's not until you realize the time swap that things get weird.
It's like they basically, you didn't really realize the plot of the movie until almost halfway through, but then after you find out what the plot is, you realize that they told you at the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, I know I found it kind of suspicious when they were doing the whole montage and like they were kind of like glossing over all of the like rules stuff, because I was like, isn't this what the movie is going to be about? Like, isn't they're doing that really fast? Why are they going so quickly through this? And then they like reveal everything. It's like, oh, that makes sense. You know? What I'm trying to get at is like, I just really like how this movie set up things and then carried them through. It did it good, and it was like that seems like it shouldn't be rare in movies, but it is.
Well, okay, so
where
here's
everything kind of ends nicely.
So here's my question. I guess I have a question for Mackenzie, because you said that you felt there was a lot of loose threads just left hanging.
Mostly curious. At the end, and I think most of the loose threads were just like, I mean, I guess it was more like they had that fleeting memory, and that was a theme throughout the entire movie, right? Because he had the corded braid, and he's like, oh, I can't remember, someone important gave it to me, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I really stuff like that, which I got, and the
kind of like the ambiguity of it.
The biggest, it was just, it was very, I don't know. It was.
Do you think it's more just you're kind of like, because the ending wasn't quite what you wanted, you felt like it was a loose end, not necessarily that it actually was?
Potentially. I mean, again, this is like at 12:30 at night because I was working 12 hours that day, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
But I was just, the ending I felt was just, I don't know, it was definitely missing something for my own personal enjoyment.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But what was I gonna say? I had something to say about something. I forget now.
Was it about boobs?
No. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't. It was something, I don't know, because Becca was talking about the body swapping. Oh, right, I remember. Most of the cinematic masterpieces are things that have a really good rating. I usually expect someone to die. So I wasn't really to be honest, I wasn't really surprised. Once the comet thing happened, I was like, oh, something bad is... I see what's happening now.
I was a little bit surprised, because I was like, okay, so obviously the story is going to be how they get back to one another, but if it isn't, how is this going to end? Like, I had a moment where I was like, I don't know how this movie ends in a sufficiently satisfying way, because now it's really sad. But that was kind of the moment where I was like, shit, I don't know what this movie's about at all, when you've realized that they're dead and they're not coming back.
Yeah.
But then they come back.
So I had a theory about why this movie might also be doing well, and that's that people are probably going to see it multiple times, maybe to like try to get the story straighter, because it reminded me a little bit of Inception, where like the time travel body swapping at the very beginning was a little bit confusing.
I don't know.
So I'm curious. Well,
I was expecting, like halfway through the movie, I was expecting to have to go into a Wikipedia hole after, but I thought it tied it up pretty nicely for me, because like I've seen a lot of those. I like that, the really confusing kind of movie, but I thought it tied it together pretty nicely. But yeah, I get what you mean about people, like a lot of people maybe going to see it 2 times. I mean, I would love to see this movie in theaters. I'd probably see it more than once, especially without all those heckin' watermarks.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I mean, I totally watched this legally.
This is a screener version.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, Internet.
I didn't, because I don't give a shit about the rules.
Sorry, Becca, what were you saying? I think you cut out, so Liam thought you were done.
I was just going to say, I'm curious how many people had to go see this movie a second time to understand what was going on in the first half. I agree with Liam. I understood, like, I felt it explained it really well, but I also thought that, like, watching Inception, they explained it pretty well, and there was a lot of people that walked out of the theaters confused there, that went and saw that movie multiple times to try and get it. So I'm curious how many people have seen this movie multiple times to try and get it, despite it being pretty clear, I think, as well.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I think it pretty much makes sense. Like, I could see maybe people being confused while they're watching it, but then I feel like when they explain everything in the middle, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of explaining kind of what was happening. But I could see, like, rewatch value, because, like, going in and, like, watching from the beginning and knowing, like, you know, that she's dead and stuff. And then, you would, like, catch all the, like, little bits that you missed the first time. Like, it definitely has rewatch value there.
Yeah. And because you know how it's going to end, it's almost like you can go back and, like, almost in a way enjoy it more that time as well. Because you can just kind of, I don't know, you're not sitting there going, like, what's going to happen?
You're not, like, wondering about plot the whole time. Yeah. Like, where is this going?
Exactly.
You can just be like, oh... Yeah.
Yeah, you can focus on other stuff.
I really agree, though, Liam. I would love to see this in theaters, because
Me too.
I really want to know what the animation looks like, crisp and clean and
nice animation.
And not like from a DVD screener that somebody stole.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I expect, like, the Twilight scene would just be beautiful.
Gorgeous.
With everything. Yeah.
Those backgrounds.
Maybe it'll come here. One can hope. Or maybe we can rent a theater.
Ooh.
I actually think that's not that expensive.
Get the rights.
Well, I doubt getting the rights, but you can do private.
You don't need the rights to watch it.
The 5 of us in one theater.
Yes, this is true. I know something about renting theaters, but that doesn't need to be discussed right now. But I'd be curious. Yeah, no. Very cool. Is there anything we need to bitch about? I missed the bitching.
Not really. I mean, I think we kind of just have some differing opinions on the end.
Complain about mundane things about the movie if you want, Becca.
I feel like usually we have a bitch session at some point.
I know.
We haven't so far.
Our bitch session was closer to the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about some other recommendations to watch if you enjoyed this. The first one that comes to mind for me is Steins Gate.
Yes, I definitely did think about Steins Gate while I watched this.
Yeah.
Not the Lake House.
Steins Gate is nice.
And if anyone hasn't seen any of this director's other work, you have to. Like, The Garden of Words is amazing. Gorgeous. I like 5 centimeters per second.
Don't tell me how to live my life, Leah.
I actually didn't hear you.
Never mind.
No, I want to know.
No, you don't. Well, okay, fine. I was just telling you not to tell me how to live my life.
Oh.
What kind of wifey are you?
What if I make it better, though? It'll be better. Well, watch Garden of Words.
I mean, you can't really make it better than my beautiful fiancé does.
Well, that's why you're marrying her. I'm just become your mistress.
Nah, it's okay. We'll just go all get married somewhere where polygamy is legal. I will amass my own harem.
Solution.
You can be
I was gonna say, don't you mean polyamory? But I'm like, no, she totally means polygamy.
Yeah.
Hello, harems.
But yeah, Garden of Words and 5 centimeters per second was good. That one's a little more. It's been like about 5 years since I've seen it, but I think that one is a little more of a Wikipedia hole, or you're not quite as satisfied, but it's still really good, worth watching.
Yeah. I definitely want to check out some more of this guy's work, because this one was so fun. Well,
people are saying he's going to be the new Miyazaki.
Okay, but that's the thing that kind of bothers me when like people compare other Japanese directors to Miyazaki.
Because they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not on the same level. Like it's different. It's like
different styles.
Like some,
it's different styles. It's like comparing like
someone
Picasso
to Disney. Anybody did Disney.
Yeah, they're all good in their own little ranks.
I'm sorry, it just bothers me.
Studio Ghibli has their own style that they're really great at. Mamoru Hosoda has his own style, and he's really fucking good. They're all really fucking good. Like,
I mean, the one thing I agree with is some of them are saying, like, talent-wise, he's past Miyazaki, which I completely agree with you guys, are two different things. But then I also read, and this I agree with, is some people were saying more he's going to be the new Miyazaki, where it's like, because, Miyazaki's not making movies anymore. Like, Studio Ghibli is, but as a storyteller, they're saying he might start to be kind of the new name.
Yeah, no, that's a fair
the big
point.
Japanese name. Yeah. That I understand, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of was reading both, and I was like, I agree with one of those points and not the other.
It kind of excites me, though, that we're getting more Japanese animated films, because they're so beautiful, and it's such a nice change from, like, the American animated films that are coming out.
The American CG animated films.
Yeah, like, it's a really nice change to be able to go watch something animated that's for adult.
And it's beautiful, and you just sit there and you let your eyes soak it in, and you're like, I was so excited that this movie was getting, like, acclaim over here as well as in Japan, because it's like, that never happens. People here don't ever hear about anime movies unless you're in that niche.
Well, and I would be curious to see what its distribution does become, because I seem to remember Spirited Away got a fairly large distribution when it started getting Oscar buzz. It had, like, people were watching it in theaters, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one hits theaters either, like, in North America.
I would be so happy if that happened.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah.
It's so
gorgeous.
Yeah, I remember I saw Spirited Away in theaters in Calgary when I was a kid, but I still had to go down to, like, the Globe. I couldn't go to a Cineplex theater to see it. So,
the only movie
but that was, like,
seen,
an anomaly almost.
Like, anime I've seen in the, like, actual movie theaters was, The Star of Milos, the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood one, and it was a shit movie.
That was in theaters?
That was in theaters. It played here. I watched it at Landmark. I was so disappointed.
Really?
Like, what the hell? Like, Full Metal, both of them have stunning animation, and then they chose to do this weird-ass, sketchy...
Yeah,
weirdness
it was like a really long
like,
filler
just don't
episode.
watch it. It's just not good.
It's okay.
And I love FMA.
I don't regret watching it.
I do. But I was just so pumped to like see an anime movie in theaters, and one that I knew had like awesome animation. And then they changed the animation, and it wasn't even that good of a story. And I was just like, well, fuck me.
That was how I felt when I saw that they were making Inuyasha movies. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, more story. And then watched them and was just like, this is nothing like the story I want to watch.
Yep.
Yeah. Sadness. But there's so many good animated, like, anime movies out there, so...
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen, like, any.
Well, and I would argue that Calgary isn't necessarily the best cultural hub for
hell no.
films, so...
No.
Never mind. Anime films.
Like, I could see Vancouver and Toronto definitely having this at some point. I would hope Calgary would, but if it doesn't...
Generally, the biggest places, especially in Canada, that are to get foreign films in bigger theaters are usually Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Calgary generally will have it at our main, Cineplex in Chinook, and that's about it. And they only screen it at, like, really, like, obscure times at, like, 2 in the morning.
Exactly.
Or 2 in the afternoon when everyone's working.
Or 9
on, like,
in the
a
morning.
Wednesday. Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah, they aren't necessarily helping. But,
nah.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't give up on Calgary. We're trying. We just need to keep fighting the weeb fight, and maybe one day we can be like those other cities.
We can be the weeb center of Canada.
We are kind of the nerd center of Canada.
We are.
True.
Yeah.
What?
Thanks, Expo.
Yeah, and like BioWare's up in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And like, isn't Otafest getting one of the voice actors from Yuri on Ice?
Yeah, the guy who does Victor's voice.
And was
the English guy, so I don't really care.
There's another one.
Oh, I know who it is. So, because I go to Otafest, we were guests at one of their microcons. Anyway, it's no big deal.
Mackenzie's a big deal.
Actually, I have a history of different things. I'm usually in Otafest. I usually go up to Animathon in Edmonton. But that's besides the point. But for anyone who plays Overwatch, they have their new character, that Mexican hacker. Sombra, yeah, they have Sombra's voice actor coming to Otafest, and then Victor's voice actor from Yuri on Ice, his English voice actor. And Otafest has also gotten a lot of international famous cosplayers as guests at their events. Big names. They've been making a really good name for themselves, and I know a lot of people in Artist Alley and a lot of the Otafest execs just through other people. And so I mean,
they're definitely growing as well. And I think, especially with their new venue, we'll see more of that growth. I mean, the university was nice, but moving it to downtown is a huge step for them in growing like their entire convention.
Yeah, Otafest is gonna be lit AF 2017.
True story.
Oh man, do I have plans for 2017? Ooh,
as soon as we're done with 20 shitsteen, am I right?
I don't really have any anime recommendations based off of this actual anime movie because it's not really my cup of tea. But most of the things I recommend to other people, they usually thoroughly enjoy, and it's not what they expect from me because I watch some really weird, not common stuff. But one thing I got really into lately, especially if you like the really nice scenery and people dying and stuff like that, I would recommend watching Grimgar Fantasy and Ash. It's really, really good. It's very much like Dungeons and Dragons, like class kind of thing, and they end up in this other world. And it was just a really beautiful, really well done anime, and I really, really loved it. So I don't know, I'd watch it.
Nice. Cool. I find to add on to the anime recommendations, I think the closest thing I can think of is Summer Wars. It has kind of a comparable concept of like you think you're going in for one type of story, and then it becomes a completely different type of story. It's also beautiful. Actually,
I found it related more to The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is done by the same director.
I haven't seen
still haven't seen that, but I want to.
Yeah,
it's not as good as Summer Wars, but still good.
That's his one film I haven't watched yet, and I probably wouldn't disagree with you. I just know Summer Wars, like I said, it just has a similar feeling to it to me, where it's
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Sure.
And if you want a non-anime movie that's kind of like this, you could always watch Donnie Darko, but
or Freaky Friday.
Or Freaky Friday.
Or
I don't
maybe
know how
even
we should recommend people
Shrek
watch
Forever
that.
After.
Also Shrek Forever After. They're all very similar. You will experience the exact same experience with all of these.
Priceless.
God, I hope people know we're kidding.
Might as well watch the B movie while you're at it.
I can't wait.
No, Shrek Forever After is actually like paradoxical.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know, but you fucking might as well watch the B movie.
I've watched all of it.
Oh boy.
That's my recommendations.
Well, I think kind of just summing up that the fact that we didn't really bitch about anything is quite impressive. Therefore, means this must be a good movie.
We do love.
Well, like, do we want to just go around and be like, "Did you like the movie? Yes or no?"
I feel like we already know that we all like the movie overall.
Do you think it lives up to the hype?
Ah, that's a good question.
That's a better question.
I think it barely met the hype for me. Barely.
I think. Go ahead, Mackenzie.
Okay, well, I was gonna anyway, sorry. But I didn't really clue into a lot of hype, because I do watch a lot of more obscure and inappropriate M-rated things, so it wasn't really in my radar. But overall, for me, other than the middle, it was kind of a net neutral, so my enjoyment level was kind of, I guess, on par. And again, the only thing that fills the void in my corrupt soul is ecchi harem, so
fair enough.
That's fair, yeah.
Veda?
I'd say, like, I think I was a little bit overhyped for the movie going into it. Like, I don't know what I was expecting from it, but I think I was expecting something, like, a little bit more. I think it met the hype, but there was still part of me that was, like, waiting for something big, like, huge to happen, you know? And, like, that's not what the movie is trying to do.
Yeah.
That's just, like, my expectation of it, and I was like, hey, no, like, because, you know, you get your brain stuck in that one idea of what something is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think that's just me personally. So just, like, go into the movie and not think about it. It's a horrible way to
just
describe it.
Wash over you.
Yeah. Right? I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how I watched it, and I did it on purpose because it already had been decently hyped for me.
Yeah, see, that's the
so
problem.
I didn't
like,
want to know any more about it. But even still, like, I kind of agree with you, Veda. Like, I felt like, I don't know, I haven't even quite made my decision, but the way I just think of it is, if I think about telling someone about this movie, it's not something, I don't go like, oh my god, it was so good, like, you have to see it, like, blah, blah, blah. But it's definitely like, no, it was really good, I enjoyed it, you, like, watch it, you know. And
I'd watch
from,
it
like,
again.
a subjective standpoint, like, I get why it's getting the hype it does, maybe from non-typical anime viewers.
I think,
you know?
yeah, like we talked about, a lot of the cultural and the previous natural disasters, I think a lot of that really ties in, which is, you know, for us Westerners, we're all going to hell. It's hard for us to relate, you know, like, it's hard for us to relate on the same level, so, you know, we don't get as much of enjoyment or maybe even understanding of the really big points that it's trying to communicate, right?
Yeah.
I definitely think, for myself, watching this movie brings up a lot of memories of stuff I went through in my early 20s, and there's a hype for this movie, but it's like my own personal hype that I don't really want to share with anyone. I really enjoyed this movie, but it's also a movie that I kind of want to be like, I'm just going to keep this one all to myself, guys, because I'd be scared how other people perceive it or enjoy it, if that makes sense. I definitely agree with Mackenzie. I think there's probably cultural aspects that we're missing out on. And that would kind of be interesting to talk to other people about that understand that connection a bit better. I don't know. Perhaps it's a good thing that we don't understand that context, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I should clarify. When I say it barely meets the hype, that still means like a really enjoyable experience because you know there was a lot of hype and it didn't meet that hype.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's like I really enjoyed this movie. There's aspects that I really like. I'm not sure if the reason why I'm excited about this movie is the same reason why other people are excited about this movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Can you really be excited for the same reasons when you can't really understand another human being?
No one is the same. We're all special snowflakes.
Let's talk about identity and whether or not we all actually exist, shall we?
Yes.
Oh God.
What if we're all just a computer program?
Brains in a jar. Maybe we are Sims, high-functioning Sims.
Sims with the free will set on high.
Yes.
Maybe this is Westworld.
I haven't been dumped in a pool yet, randomly, so...
Yeah, right. The walls haven't started
missing
disappearing.
Alright,
well, I
guess overall general consensus is do watch this movie. It's worth watching. Animation's great. Story's
It's a good movie.
How does
you'll be invested, it'll connect you on a personal level somehow, and you'll enjoy it.
How did Leah
unless
say
you
it?
want to watch some good ecchi harems, in which case hit me up because I have some recommendations.
Mackenzie,
Alright, we'll
put
you as our...
Pardon me?
Do you have a My Anime list?
No, it's a cesspool. I hate it.
Fair enough. I was gonna say we could add your link to this episode.
We all have our own.
Well,
no, I don't bother because it's not worth my time.
Fair enough.
Not saying anything, but I just don't go based on a lot of that stuff because I'd rather formulate my own opinion, and I go based on
no. I'm not saying for opinions. I just mean to keep track of what you've seen. That's all.
Yeah.
Because I thought that maybe people could see what you've watched.
Most people don't need to know what I've seen. I've watched some pretty bad stuff, and like not even like bad as in raunchy, just like bad as in quality. And I'm like, why do I do this to myself?
Whatever.
Because you love your trash.
Yeah, I'm literally just a human garbage bag, but it's fine. But
Mackenzie.
for most of no, it's great. It's fine. People apparently are very drawn to my dumpster-esque personality. Yeah, no, I don't really have a My Anime list, but I could probably make one, tick things off, but
you don't have to.
On our account, you don't have to.
No. It's just that would be a lot of work. The only thing that matters is to love Rue, and that's the only thing that
Not Love Live?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about ecchi harems,
oh, okay.
to love Rue. But if we're talking about general anime, then there's a lot more that matters.
Cool.
All right.
Said like everyone just powered down.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up well. We did good.
Do you want to talk about what's happening next week?
Are we doing marbles?
I don't even know what my life next week is. Like, what did we? I don't know what's happening.
I apologize.
Are we doing
the next week we record?
No, I know, but I mean, like, are we just doing a regular style?
Veda, it's a regular one.
Episode.
A peak.
Veda's picking again, but like regular timies now.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to pick Veda, because I'll pick if you really want.
Oh God.
Oh, that's
suffer, Leah, suffer.
Oh dear. I don't know what should I do. I'm not good at making decisions. You
had the stuff picked last week. Yeah. You should go with that. Sorry, Mackenzie.
In lieu of that,
I still feel bad.
Mackenzie could list our marble order.
Sure.
Rather than us all jumping around.
So Mackenzie, you just have to pick who. You have to tell us who picks the marble first.
How about Mackenzie gets to pick who watches the bad anime with red marble?
Oh, sure, that's more fun.
That is more fun.
That's more fun.
That makes you feel a little more special.
Involved.
I'm God now.
Yes. Yeah, you are.
Alright.
Okay. Are we ready with the marbles?
Yes.
Mackenzie's picking. We don't need the marbles.
I guess.
I meant like she can pick who's watching with the person who draws the red marble. She can also pick everyone. I'm cool with that too. You go for it.
I haven't come prepared for this, guys.
That was how I understood it.
You know what?
Away.
There's so many episodes where poor Becca has to watch the bad anime, so I think Becca has to watch the good anime for once.
All right.
Fair enough. Cool.
Because that's all. I think Liam's commentary is funnier with the bad anime, so I'm gonna give him that one. Please give me a ride home.
Well, you can walk now.
Snap.
What? So who's the red marble? I missed that.
Is Liam
Well, is
red
Mackenzie
marble?
picking, or are Veda and I going to draw for it?
I thought we were picking the red marble before who picked the bad anime, but well, okay, let's draw for it then.
Okay, so between
Russian
Veda and I then.
But I put the marbles away.
Okay, Mackenzie, who's
Mackenzie
the red
just
marble?
pick somebody who's gonna watch the bad anime with Liam and is also gonna pick animes next week.
How about
Leah.
I'm the red marble?
Sure, Liam can be the red marble and Leah can suffer
Oh,
because I made a
sure.
suffering
I
comment.
don't
and
even get to
I have to
pick
stand
something.
strong.
Oh no.
Wait, I don't know.
I
like
haven't
Liam
picked
has
one in a while. Come on,
Liam
Leah.
hasn't gone
Leah,
yet.
you just had like 2 weeks worth.
Yeah,
and
you
I've
know, we
had
can
to
make it
watch
easy on
hell.
everyone, and I can pick the
This-
animes.
3 weeks of hell!
Hey, you can't say anything. I had to watch the bad anime so many weeks in a row.
No, girl. I had to watch your shitty,
You know what?
nipple sucking thing, and
I
then 2 of my own
Say
bad
gun
ones, they
equation.
tried
I
to
have a
enact
weeb
revenge.
fight.
Y'all
Guys,
weebs,
I will sit down.
y'all weebs. You know, you could have it worse. You could live like me and watch a bad anime every single day of your life.
But that's what you choose.
Yeah,
put-
I'm not very smart.
Wait, as this is episode 49, that means we're only 3 episodes away from having done this for a full year.
Yeah.
In 3 episodes, I will have the totals of who has watched the most bad
Ooh.
anime.
Oh.
It'll probably
Okay.
be Veda.
Ooh.
And
Oh,
then
Maybe. I don't even know. It
Oh,
might
we
be.
should also calculate
red marbles.
who has, like, for the most downloads, who picked the bad animes for the high download episodes.
Yeah, we can do that. I can break it all
It's like
down.
a competition now.
Don't worry about it.
I mean-
Don't
Just,
worry
like,
about it, because it is what
Enter
it is.
enter a private browser and just like spam the download button.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Must win.
I mean-
I won this one, you guys.
We
No,
will have
my
yes,
a
offer
listeners,
still
it'll be
stands
good.
though.
3
If you
episodes or
guys-
so from now.
If you guys
We'll
just
do a
don't know
year
who
in
to pick
review.
anime next week, you can always just hit me up. I'll hook you all up with some great animes, guys.
Look, we get it.
Alright.
We'll-
Mackenzie.
We'll
talk
come
about
back
this
to you
shortly.
at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a plan. I just don't
I
think
watch
it's been
hentai
discussed
on
with
my
you.
own time, thanks.
Hey,
We
it's
just watched
ecchi
hentai,
harem,
like,
and it's
3
as
weeks
close as
ago.
hentai without being hentai as you can get.
The last time we watched anime, the nipple anime, it was hentai. We've watched hentai. No more
Seikon no
hentai.
Quasar.
Uh,
I already
yeah.
apologize for that,
one was
alright?
okay.
no!
No, it wasn't.
No, if you want to watch something that's like really bad, like tentacle hentai, but it's in the later half, then
can
Oh my
look
I
at
god,
was
my
showing
my
it to
puppy
point.
you.
is
Thank
like
you.
losing his shit.
I don't think
It's
they want to
okay.
watch more.
No.
Well,
I don't
that's
wanna-
what you guys want.
I'll watch more hentai. I don't
At
want to
least
discuss
Liam's
it
on
with
my
you
side.
guys.
Oh dear.
Okay,
I want
Um,
to review
Veda,
it
give it
myself.
to us.
Yeah,
Do
what
you
are we
want the
doing?
bad one or the good one first?
Let's get the bad one.
Okay, so this one seems like super not known. I don't know. I was just looking at random shit on Mel.
Typical Veda.
Yep. So here we go. It's got a 5.81 if that means anything to you.
Maybe I
Pretty
know
shitty.
it.
It's called Alexander Senki. Oh yeah, my theme for this week was like action adventure like history. kind of thing.
Yay!
Neat.
So I don't know, fantasy-ish. So Prince Alexander, son of King
Oh.
Philip and heir to the Macedonian Empire, must fend off political saboteurs, assassins, and the jealousy of his own father to ascend to the position of king. Once there, he begins his quest to conquer all nations and become known as the Great King through an ancient prophecy though an ancient prophecy foretells that he will be the destroyer of the world and oh my god, I can't talk, and forever remembered as the Devil King.
Devil King.
It's like a altered version of Alexander the Great, like the
Yeah.
actual guy.
I think so, yes. Also known as Reign the Conqueror in English. So yeah,
Interesting.
that one's the bad anime.
What's the good anime?
The good anime. Okay, so the good anime, the episodes are 50 minutes long each.
Oh,
So you
holy
only have to watch
shit.
one. Okay?
Holy crap.
I know. It's called Katana Gatari. So in an Edo era Japan lush with the variety of sword fighting styles, Shichika Yasuri practices the most unique one. Oh god.
Oh god.
Kyoto. I remember seeing this word and being like, how do I pronounce this? Kyoto Ryu. A technique in which the user's own body is wielded as a blade. the enigmatic 7th head of the Kyoto-ryu school, Shichika, lives quietly. You're welcome. In exile with his
It's not even thank you anymore. It's you're welcome.
Veda's like, I
know. In exile with his sister Nanami, until one day the wildly ambitious strategist Togame barges into their lives. Togame brazenly requests that Shichika help her in a mission to collect 12 unique swords, known as the Deviant Blades, for the shogunate. Shogunate, yes. Shichika accepts, interested in the girl herself rather than pretty petty politics, and thus sets out on a journey. Standing in their way are the fierce wielders of these legendary weapons, as well as other power-hungry entities oh god, I cannot.
It's okay. Take a breath.
Literally can't even.
Who seek to thwart Togame's objective. In order to prevail against their enemies, the duo must become an unbreakable team as they forge ahead on a path of uncertainty and peril. This one has an 8.49.
What was that called again?
Katana Gatari, for with the R's.
This one has a lot of potential to have people turning into weapons and turn into some weird fantasy.
I was gonna say, I'm like, this could go in so many ways.
It really could.
Oh no, I know this one. My friends really like this one. They cosplay it. It's very sad.
I've heard that it's sad, but it looks so pretty and I want to watch it.
No, it is. Yeah, no, I know. I saw the art and I was like, no, wait, I know this one.
Yeah.
And no, a bunch of my friends watch it and they cry every time they talk about it. So.
It has a very distinct art style. But yeah, the episodes are 50 minutes each and there's 12, which surprises me.
Oh, wow.
I know, I was like, damn, that's long. But so you only have to watch one.
That's interesting. I've never really seen
that.
Happen with that layout done before.
They've always been 22-minute episodes, haven't they?
Yeah. Unless it's an OVA.
Yeah. But then you don't have 12 of them.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So I'm just like, this is new.
Curious.
Intriguing.
Guess you guys will have to see how that goes.
Right? So tune in next week, my listeners.
Your listeners.
My listeners.
Listeners.
Like my boy.
My
finger guns.
Boy.
I don't know. I lost it a while ago. I don't know what I'm saying.
Mackenzie, while you're here, would you like to give any last minute anime recommendations for your genre? Because none of us really watch your genre, so I don't know if we have some listeners out there who are a little more up your alley. They might appreciate it.
You never know. I mean, Keijo's pretty good. It's got a lot of hype. I generally don't watch a lot of the ones that are super mainstream.
No, which is good. What are some of the more
It gives a good
I've mentioned it before, but it's really high. It's really popular in Japan, and I think it had a huge influence on the whole genre. And it's To Love Ru. Mm-hmm. And the first season, it's very, comedic. It's a very self-aware, ecchi harem comedy slice of life sort of thing. And it just gets so much better, but I would recommend giving that one a try. The first 3 episodes are kind of a little and then it kind of, grows, but that one's one of my favorites, near and dear to my heart. It's quite progressive. Other ecchi harems, I mean, Blade Dance of the Elementalers has a decent score on Mal, but I mean, for me...
We don't always believe in Mal.
I don't. Yeah, for me, I found the main heroine to be kind of annoying more than anything else. The main protag was pretty alright. Mm-hmm. I actually just watched a recent one called Outbreak Company, which was really actually quite good.
Sorry, I have a fussy puppy.
You know what? I just want to pet your dog all night. But yeah, Outbreak Company is pretty good because it's about this other kingdom, and they end up. I don't want to spoil it, but it's really good. This hikikomori, basically just ends up working for this company and trying to bring otaku culture to this basically fantasy country, and it's actually really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
What else do I have? Not a lot of the things I watch are on Crunchyroll, so.
I don't think any of us other than Becca particularly use proper screening methods for most things.
I like Crunchyroll sometimes. I like it when I can see anime at the proper
quality.
I
don't blame you. I just
I would have
Crunchyroll
I just haven't bothered. If I wasn't poor.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, and I'm broke.
Guys, I get free guest passes every month.
Yeah, there's a lot.
What does that
I'm blanking
mean?
on a lot of some of the really good ones that I watched.
That's okay, that's how it
I'm
always
running
goes.
on fumes. But yeah, no, I can probably send you guys a bunch of like recommendations of ones that I personally enjoyed. If you really, really want to. But yeah, To Love Ru is good. I would check it out. The second season gets like the budget increase of a lifetime, and it just the quality goes up like like you would not believe. And then yeah, Blade Dance of the Elementers is okay. Outbreak Company was great. I really enjoyed that one recently. I mean,
Meh.
not in that specific genre that I really enjoyed. Again, was Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. That one was a really, really beautiful anime. People die, you'll cry probably, and I really liked it because it fits in kind of a D&D nerd genre. They basically, like, it starts out and you think it's like, haha, they're just learning how to be, like, a shitty party of RPG characters, and then it gets sad. So, that one was really good. I'm really excited for a second season. And then my other genre that I really like is watching really shitty animes, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, like Gaku and Handsome.
Oh god, yeah.
Or, yeah, Neko Sugar Girls.
Okay, but Neko Sugar Girls isn't like an anime.
One of the ones that I liked, it was an Idol Boy anime called Dream Festival, and
it
has really bad CGI dancing.
Oh god.
So, and it's like really gay.
Well, I'm gonna keep that one in my back pocket to make people watch.
Oh dear.
I don't want to.
Yes,
Liam is.
Yes,
no, Liam.
I'll watch it.
Leah, if you need this fodder, just hit me up. I've got a list of terrible ones that everyone will cry. So there would be so much bitching. I live for this shit.
Cool. Well, thank you, Mackenzie. I'm sure that is useful to listeners who don't always like the same shit we do.
Yeah, well, thank you guys. The only thing I really have to plug is, I guess, mostly Dancing Stars on Muse stuff. It's a group of really great friends of mine. They're really nice people. Our Hanukkah Carter, it's like, this is her dream come true, and she deserves the world. I love her. She's a ball of sunshine. They are a ball of sunshine, pardon me. Yeah, Dancing Stars on Muse. We just did a workshop at Geeks United at the University of Calgary. We were invited to do that. That was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
I ended up going there. It was only about half our group. We're working on putting together a cover group for Aqua, which is the Love Life Sunshine unit. So we'll probably be going to Otafest Prime, doing our usual, we might do a halftime show for something or be invited as guests. And then we usually do a dance teaching panel at Otafest. And then you can usually find most of our members at Animathon up in Edmonton in August. I usually end up just fuffing about, and I usually end up crashing into people's panels last minute as their soundboard because I've got all the good memes. So check us out. We've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And we have a YouTube if you want to watch all of our previous dances, panels, workshops, so on and so forth. Yeah, and then,
there will definitely be a link in the description.
Yeah, there's a lot. If you want to check out any of my stuff, I post a lot of pictures of my dog on Instagram, and I just shit post on Twitter a lot. So you can find me on both of those at Maggie Trash. Oh yeah, that's another good anime, is Maggie Labyrinth of Magic. Please, dear God, save my soul.
I agree.
Still have to watch that.
Good.
But yeah, so it's at Maggie Trash, MAGITRASH, capital M, capital T, both on Instagram and on Twitter if you want to check out my stuff. But I don't really do a lot more posting. I just shit post and post pictures of my dog.
That's good.
Speaking of social media, should we do our usual plug and not let me do it this time because I fucked it up last time?
Okay, so we are on Facebook, we're on Podbean, we're on iTunes. You can find us at 4Weebs. Google us or whatever, I don't care.
We are not on Twitter.
We are not on Twitter because we have a hard enough time keeping our Facebook active. Yeah. Because we don't want to spam our dear sweet listeners with bullshit. We are also on my anime list. All of our like little profile things will be linked in the description. But for anybody who doesn't have access to those little linky things, I'm Cedar Rain on my anime list. Everyone else introduce yourselves.
I'm Asuka Best Grill.
Leah-boo, Weeaboo? Weeaboo.
Weeaboo.
Leah-boo.
Weeaboo, leaboo.
Mine is like Psycho Snell, so it's like Psycho and then SNAL.
Yeah.
I made that when I was in like junior high.
That's all of us, and if you didn't catch that, go to fucking Podbean and click on the little links.
Thank you.
We're also on YouTube sometimes.
There's like 3 episodes on YouTube. I mean, if you want to go listen to really old episodes of the podcast, you go for it.
Yeah,
we're gonna be on YouTube. Just go to Dancing Stars on Muse. It's fine.
Yeah, check out all of the links to Mackenzie's stuff in our little description for this week. And
if you're still listening after all of this,
if you're tired of social media, tell your friends. The more people listen to us, the less often I'm going to say this.
I think they're just waiting to see if I come in with another completely deadpan, sarcastic, witty pun.
Where is it?
You got anything?
No, I'm dead ass tired, guys. I want to die. Good night.
I have a joke for everyone, really quickly.
Oh dear.
Oh boy. I can already tell it's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah,
how cringy is
That's the best kind.
Seeing how Mackenzie couldn't deliver. Why do the hills refuse to play hide and seek with the mountains?
Why?
Because the mountains peak.
Oh my god!
Those fucking cheating mountain pieces of shit.
No.
I'm just gonna go shut myself on.
It wasn't as bad as the fridge one.
I'm gonna go unplug the computer now.
That was only bad because
you fell for it.
You know what? Go fuck yourself.
Wonderful, gullible Liam. A true gift to this world.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Wow, that one?
Yeah, that one.